Okay, week 5 of winter anime. There's so many shows out there, so much good music and action. I'm just getting anxious at the amount of interesting shows that like people might miss out on since there's just so much content this season. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so for Wonder Egg Priority episode 4, we meet a new girl. Her name is Momoe, and she's kind of really tall, has reddish brown hair, and kind of like gets confused as a boy. So yeah, that's the trope they're going for with her. She's like very self-conscious about her looks, and she's like fighting in the egg world the same as the other people. She has a spear umbrella as her weapon, so yeah, now we have a spear user, and she's protecting this girl. She's like this black-haired high school girl that has a pretty tragic past. So she got molested constantly by this dude. So then one day she kind of yelled out, and then he got in trouble for it. But the thing is that he's the boss of that girl's father, so yeah, her father got fired, I guess, and then their mom is taking it out on her because it's like, oh, you're cute. You should have accepted being molested. Like, it's not a bad thing. You should have just like kept quiet and dealt with it. Instead, you're just a burden to your parents now. Her wonder killer is the molester. So he's just like this creepy looking office worker with like a bunch of like rulers and stuff sticking out of him. And yeah, this episode they did a really cool thing. So right here we got Momoe's fight, and then it's vignetted with Ai's fight. Ai is fighting to protect those two masked girls that killed themselves against this like idol worshiper. So yeah, it's like both of their fights are vignetted next to each other. There's like good music as well, and just they're both getting overwhelmed. So Momoe is getting like a red laser beam. She's trying to deflect it with her lance, and Ai is trying to run away from the Wonder Killer, leaving Rika behind. And yeah, right as they're both about to get hit by the attack, their person that they're trying to protect, they come in to save the day. So Momoe, the person she's trying to protect, she's like, oh hey, you can molest me. I actually liked it. And then the other two girls, they're like, they pull out a music video of the idol they like, and then it's like the Wonder Killer can't kill them because you can't kill someone in front of your idol. So yeah, great way to show how like the people they protect, they can also like do things. They don't have to be just like running away helpless. And now as both Wonder Killers are distracted, Momoe goes in for the kill, stabs him, and then Ai also goes in. She has a new weapon, those kind of sparklers that the two girls were waving around. She takes them, and now she has dual wield cleavers. So like tiny axes they look like, and then they're like orange glowing, and then she just cuts up the Wonder Killer. And yeah, they both rescue their specific girls. The thing is that when I killed the Wonder Killer, she didn't finish her off. So yeah, we thought Rika was dead, but no, you can't actually die in this world. So yeah, Rika's all good. And then the two masked girls they were trying to protect, they're like, oh yeah, we're your #1 fans. And then the girl Momoe was trying to protect, she said she loves Momoe. And then they both disappear into dust. We get some insight on the girl that Momoe was trying to save. We don't know why she killed herself, but she seems to love Momoe. She's like, oh, you can touch me. We see that Momoe is dealing with her own issues about her like personality, her love, and her appearance. So then after that, Ai visits Neru, the tan girl, and she's kind of mysterious, but yeah, they're really good friends. And then we realize that she's really rich. She's the president of a huge company, and I don't know how old she is because she looks like she's in high school or something, but she's out of the hospital. She's like able to fight again. So yeah, they decide to go buy an egg later today. So then after that, in the egg world, Rika and Neru, they meet. Their personalities kind of clash because Rika tries to make jokes on how Ai is her wallet, and then Neru just kind of casually insults Rika. And then Momoe comes in as well to the egg world. She says hi to Neru and Rika, but then they both confuse her as a dude, and then they're like, oh, what's a dude doing here? I thought it was only girls. And then we get like the kind of owner of the egg world over here, that like kind of bald dude made out of yarn. He tells us that like boys and girls, yeah, they both kill themselves, but then girls kind of do it through like emotional ways, like it's like they're driven by emotion, while boys are like driven by action, something like that. But yeah, it's finally confirmed. Like, it's pretty obvious, but now it's confirmed that each of the egg persons are just like someone that killed themselves. And then the anime is like portraying it in like unique ways, like maybe girls killed themselves because of love, through appearance, through bullying, through idol worship. So yeah, there's like many different reasons why someone would kill themselves. But then yeah, after they confused Momoe as a boy, they kind of hurt her feelings. So she runs away crying. And then she meets up with Ai, wearing her sunflower yellow hoodie. And then she asks Ai, "Hey, what do I look like?" And Ai gets kind of taken aback by the question, but she's like really nice, so she's like, "Oh, you look like a beautiful crying girl that's like kind of like a model." And then that cheers up Momoe so much. It's like the kind of first person that actually sees Momoe as a girl, like from first impressions. And like, yeah, Ai is really nice. She's very precious. And Momoe joins the squad. All four of them, Rika, Neru, Ai, and Momoe, seem to be our main cast. They're all pretty capable in this egg world, fighting the Wonder Killers and stuff. Very comfortable story so far. Although I'm kind of feeling like anxiety, just like something's gonna go wrong. People are gonna die here. Like as the anime goes on, like just like some twist is gonna happen. So yeah, I'm preparing for that. Also, Momoe's last name is Sawaki, which is also the last name of the guidance counselor that's visiting Ai's mom and was visiting Nagase, who was like the girl that Ai is trying to protect. So yeah, I wonder if that'll come up. Maybe they're related somehow. So yeah, we will see. This episode basically had great action and set up the 4-woman cast that we're focused on. Okay, so for the Promised Neverland episode 5. For this episode, it was pretty interesting. But then really quick, there's going to be a break next week for a recap episode. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But then after what happened this episode, I guess it's kind of hype. So let's get into it. So it's been a year since the kids escape. So there's like a mild time skip happening where, yeah, they escaped the orphanage. But after their underground bunker got infiltrated on, these kids are just like trying to survive in the wild for like months now. And then they're surviving. They're in some cave. They have like this garden set up. So then, yeah, they're trying to live off the land. They have disguises as well. So it's like if you're in the zombie apocalypse, you dress up as a zombie. They're doing that, but just dressing up as demons. Because all these demons, they wear masks and have big cloaks, so they fit right in. There's also a blind demon that entered their hideout to offer some offerings. It's like some graveyard church type of thing. He's saying how the demons, they have families, and then they need meat to kind of like help them against diseases, like decaying flesh. And then we see like the family of some of these demons. It's like they had a little girl and like a little brother, and then they're both just like dying. They're just like have appendages growing on their face. So yeah, that's pretty big. If you're in some poverty like Demon Village with not enough nutrition, then yeah, there's like a bunch of diseases that are just showing up. So then after that, one day, the kids get caught in the village. The demons are smelling the flesh of the kids. So then yeah, these two demons were trying to just like take care of their family. They chase after the kids. As they're about to die, Norman and his squad comes into the rescue. So I don't know what this is. How did Norman survive? Like, I knew through kind of mild spoilers that he was alive. I thought he'd be like kind of like working with the orphanage or something as like some smart leader type of guy. But it seems like he's commanding this type of like rescue human organization. So it's like Norman and like 4 people that are dressed up as demons, or they could actually be demons. It's very suspicious how he's back. But yeah, he rescues Emma. We don't know who he's with. We don't know how he escaped, how he survived. But yeah, the episode ends with a Norman reveal, which is, I guess, a great place to end as any. Okay, so for Jujutsu Kaisen episode 17, probably the best action we had this week. It focuses on most of the women in the cast. So Nobara is fighting Momo, the blonde-haired girl with the broomstick. And then Miwa is fighting Maki. So yeah, Maki's really strong. And then Miwa got kind of surprised at how strong she was because her sister Mai told Miwa that she doesn't have any Jujutsu powers. She just like uses weapons like a normal person. She's like a level 4 at best. But then yeah, Mai was just like lying to Miwa because like she doesn't want to admit that Maki is strong. So yeah, Miwa is the blue-haired girl with the sword. She shows off her sword technique. But then yeah, Maki's so strong she just throws her off a cliff. And then yeah, they're fighting in a river. Miwa shows off her sword techniques. It's called the New Shadow style, where like she wraps her sword with cursed energy. And then this is a move where she creates an area around her where if you step in that circle, she's just gonna slash you. And the fact that her sword is wrapped in cursed energy makes it super fast. And then Maki is fighting head on, like she's rushing Miwa. So then she has this like long Naginata, I think. So yeah, that's what she uses to fight. So then Miwa is trying to bait her into coming in so she can just quickly slash her. The thing is, Maki is so smart. She has multiple ways to beat you up. So yeah, it really shows. Here she broke her stick in half. She throws the sharp end at Miwa. And then yeah, Miwa has to deflect it. There's also a kunai that comes in. So she loses her footing. Maki closes the distance. And she uses some hand-to-hand combat, some Akaido to basically disarm her. And then she throws Miwa away and takes her sword. So yeah, very cute seeing Miwa just like getting totally dominated by Maki. Miwa really is one of the nicest girls in the series, so yeah. Maki comes out on top. After that, Nobara fights with Momo. Nobara's trying to shoot her cursed needles around the forest. Momo is a wind user, so that's how she like flies with her broom and stuff. She uses cursed wind energy. She's kind of angry at Nobara for not understanding like the pressure that Mai comes from, like her family. It's just so hard on her. But then Nobara's like, who cares? Like, we're trying to protect Yuji. Like, you should not kill someone just because you don't understand them. Just because someone has a tragic past doesn't give them the right to do whatever they want. And then Nobara explodes all the needles around the trees. It makes it so Momo is like unable to move. And that's where Nobara, she throws a needle on a tree, she climbs up the needle, and then jumps up and grabs her broomstick. She takes like a twig of the broom before she falls. But then, you know her straw doll, if she stabs it, then it'll like run out of cursed energy. So yeah, Momo is unable to fly. And then Nobara comes in. She's like, I can't smash her with this hammer, she might die. So she pulls out this rubber hammer and just smashes her. Very like kind of creative, like, oh, I can't kill these people because we're having like a school competition. So I'll just hit them with the rubber hammer instead. So just as Nobara was gonna hit her a second time, she gets hit by a bullet. So it comes from Mai's revolver from like a great distance away. Mai comes in to knock out Nobara. So then after that, Maki comes in, and then yeah, she fights with Mai. So yeah, Maki had 2 fights this episode. Very cool, very strong display of her strength. Pretty cool that she's like a Jujutsu sorcerer with no powers. And then yeah, we get more of her life explained because she was one of the more interesting characters. And it was showed that she was actually like supposed to be born with the cursed energy, but then she wasn't. And then in exchange for that, she got super strength. So yeah, she's actually physically like strong, like kind of Yuji level strong, even stronger probably. So yeah, that's how she can just like beat stuff up with only a weapon, no powers. So yeah, we get a bit of backstory on both of the girls as they fight. They're twin sisters, which we know. And then Maki is like kind of the stronger, tougher girl. And then they're from like a prestigious like Jujutsu sorcery family. Thing is, their family's really stubborn and they only acknowledge like the strong. Maki told her dad that yeah, she's gonna go be a Jujutsu sorcerer on her own. She doesn't need this family. And then when she comes back, she's gonna be head of the family. So then I think her dad, it's just like, he doesn't care. He's really mean. And he's like, if you leave, we'll take it out on Mai. And yeah, Maki just left Mai out there to fend off for herself. And the fact that Maki left, like, her parents made Mai become a Jujutsu sorcerer, even though she didn't want to. Mai is really sad. She just wanted to live like a peaceful life. Just like chill, don't fight any scary monsters or anything. It shows Maki left her sister Mai, and now like Mai hates her for that. She resents her. So yeah, very great emotional story. Just like, yeah, they told us their backstory. They're very quick, very effective. We understand like why these girls like come from, with their motivations and why they resent each other. And Mai is just like trying to aim but can't hit her. Like Maki's like slicing the bullets with her sword. And then the thing is, Mai never told Maki her true power. So as Maki tries to rush Mai because she thought she ran out of bullets since there's only 6 bullets in a revolver, Mai can use creation to actually create something out of nothing, such as a bullet. But it actually takes so much out of you to like manipulate the laws of physics like that, so yeah, she can only make 1 bullet a day. That's her limit. And then yeah, she surprises Maki with that. She shoots her right in the head. But then yeah, Maki, she's really strong, so as the bullet was about to hit her, she grabs the bullet as the last second and kind of like burns her hand a bit, but then yeah, she beats Mai. It's very sad how like these 2 sisters turned out. Like, they're both suffering from their evil family. And so yeah, hopefully they both make it out on top because yeah, I'm cheering for both of these girls. Even though Mai's kind of like has a shitty personality, it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, you're pretty cool. You have nice motivations. And then yeah, we also want to see Maki succeed. Great showing as the tournament continues. I bet there's going to be more twists and turns, maybe some big villains coming out. 2 more people are retired. It's Nobara and Mai. So yeah, it feels a bit overwhelmingly favored towards the Tokyo school so far. Okay, so for Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 9. It was a pretty laid-back episode, just to show how 3 years ago, how like all this planning of war got started, how the Eldians in the island would communicate with the outside world, what their plan is, how they protect themselves. It was all here. So it kind of started with all the scouts, just like attacking the ships coming towards the island. They're slowly taking people that they can get intel from that wants to betray Marley. Here we have Niccolo, Yelena, and Onyan Capone as like the main kind of caste that are betraying the people, giving them information. They're slowly integrating with the Eldians. They're telling them how they have like these automatic guns, they have this big army, they have all these ships, and they have like air technology as well. Hanch gets pretty excited, which is really funny. We can see Sasha enjoying Niccolo's cooking. He can make a lot of seafood, which the Eldians did not have because, yeah, they were trapped in an island. They couldn't get all these lobsters and exotic fish. So yeah, they were very carefree 3 years ago, just like trying to live their life, do their planning. Then they got intel from Zeke. He wants a Titan with royal blood as well as the founder Titan, like together, and that's like the start of his plans. And he only had around like 4 years to live, so they had to hurry up. It's great to see how like, oh yeah, this is all this planning. It wasn't super complicated. It was just like one or two defectors. They come in, and then it escalated into this big invasion, which Aaron's just like did because he wanted to buy time. He's like, as long as we said, oh, don't mess with us, we'll have some time before like they attack us. Now we see the Beast Titan being escorted into a forest. So yeah, that's where he's sleeping. And then Gabby and Falco are in some jail cell. They'll probably see some more play soon. But yeah, right now there's like a lot of stuff to unpack. So yeah, we're slowly getting it. I assume next episode will be more reveals as well as like next step of the war. What are they gonna do? Armin feels kind of bad. He was like talking to Annie's crystallized body, asking like, oh, I finally understand what you guys had to do. So yeah, that's cool. We also see Niccolo visiting Sasha's grave because yeah, she did die last episode. I still like am pretty sad about it. But yeah, what can you do? Sasha's parents go out there. And yeah, Niccolo was just like such a friend to Sasha because she loved his cooking. So he offers to cook food for the parents. But yeah, pretty interesting to see how things happen 3 years later. Okay, so for Dr. Stone, The Stone Wars, episode 4. Pretty interesting episode where we meet a new character, Ukyo, who's the dude with super hearing. And now we learned that he gets his super hearing from working at a submarine before the world was turned to stone. Chrome gets captured by the Archer, and then he gets sent to Tsukasa's lair to just like interrogate. And yeah, it's pretty scary for Chrome because you're in the lair of the evil person, you might die. So then they show Tsukasa here. It's like he's grown like 20 feet tall or whatever. He's so huge. I love his design because it's like you can really take him seriously as like the leader of the opposing group. And he tells Chrome that we're not opposed to science. Like, we use fires, we use tools. But it's like, if Senku wants to revive the whole world, they're gonna just, like, bring back atomic weapons, war, stuff like that. Tsukasa kind of has, like, a kind of naive personality here where it's like, yeah, adults are evil. But then it's like, stuff is always gonna progress anyway. Also, it's funny, because Chrome gets tossed down a waterfall to interrogate him. But then Chrome is, like, really strong-willed, so he doesn't want to give up. He doesn't want to rat out Senku. So yeah, Tsukasa sees this. He throws a tree while he's falling and saves him. And it shows that he respects people that are strong. It's like, he doesn't want to really kill people. He wants people to just like live their lives as long as like they don't bring back evil weapons of science or war. Also, Ukyo, he seems to be like a double agent because he doesn't rat out Chrome. Because Tsukasa asks, oh, where did you find Chrome? Maybe we can investigate what he was doing. And Ukyo tells him, oh, he was in these caves. So yeah, he doesn't tell them about like them being in Senku's grave, which is pretty interesting. Maybe Ukyo has some ulterior motives. Senku's like, oh yeah, we'll just bring the war to them. Instead of them coming here, we'll come to them. But then yeah, how are they gonna transport all their like weapons of science and stuff? So then Senku's like, why don't we just build a car? And it's like, okay. So we make a plan to build a car. It's like a steam-powered engine made with like these pistons from beeswax. And then yeah, they burn water to like add steam, and then the steam just like moves the engine, and yeah, that's how like the car moves. And then the car base is like built from like wood and bamboo. So yeah, very quickly they just like solder a wooden car together, powered by a steam engine. There's like some cool vignettes of them like dressing up as like the Industrial Revolution, wearing like those British like 1800s dresses and suits, riding a train. So yeah, Senku built a car engine this episode. We'll see where it goes because yeah, in the OP it shows him like riding a tank. So I can assume that's like the next level of this plan. Okay, so for Re:Zero episode 5, I don't really know what happened, but a bunch of villains are coming out. We don't really have the full story yet, but basically Juice unleashes the witch's favor. He starts bleeding from his eyes, but now he has like this witch's power to fight off the white-haired dude Regulus. But then this white lolly chick comes out. She's like pale white. I thought she was like Satella or something, but no, she's like a new girl, Pandora. And then she can manipulate reality. And she does this when Juice was trying to protect Fortuna, and she was like, oh, isn't it amazing how they love each other? But then Regulus wants to fight them. So then Pandora was like, okay. Then she sends Regulus away somewhere. The whole area is probably getting attacked by Regulus's forces. This Pandora chick seems like very evil, very strong, like kind of comically strong. So we don't know what her motivations are, but at the end of the episode, she meets up with a little kid Amelia. So it's probably something to do with that. Also, we see glimpses of the magic beast, the black snake. So yeah, apparently he has like superpowered poison that'll just like disintegrate your body. So yeah, all of that stuff is happening in Amelia's memory of the trial. And yeah, Subaru gets their own memory with the Ryuzus. Like, 100 years before this, they see Echidna, the Witch of Greed, living with Beatrice, and then Rosewall coming in to visit. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder where they'll go from there, because yeah, we know now that Rosewall and Beatrice, they both have contracts with Echidna, but they're also living together in that other mansion. So yeah, more questions, more characters. As we'll probably go on, this trial will probably continue. Okay, so for Cells at Work, episodes 4 to 5, we meet kind of new characters, these lactic acid absorbing bacteria. They get protected by like the normal Cell who's like living his life, he's kind of bored. And then yeah, he sees these cute bacteria that he doesn't want to show to anyone because like if the white blood cells see them, they might kill them. The thing is they use their lactic acid absorbing power to fight off like some diseases, so it shows that they're beneficial. So yeah, they work in the stomach now. And it tells us that your body can have like outside bacteria in it that won't harm it. And one of the bacteria goes missing. So then the normal Cell is so sad, he's like, what if the white blood cell see it and kill it? And then the NK cell appears. So like the cool woman Cell who fights off cancers, she comes in and she tells the normal Cell that, hey, we fight to protect the body, don't forget that. As they go on to find the missing bacteria, they have to fight off the influenza virus. But then the NK cell cannot kill it. And then she gets all like sad and dismotivated because this is like the stronger version of the flu, like it mutates and gets stronger every year. So the fact that the NK cell can't beat it is like very disheartening for her. But the dendritic cell comes, he gets like a little motivated from the stomach bacteria. It gave him like a chemical to help him motivate all the white blood cells. And yeah, the dendritic cell basically motivates them by showing them blackmail of their past, which kind of traumatizes them and just like makes them work harder and kill all the viruses. So yeah, pretty cute episode showing the stomach bacteria that are helpful to the body. And then the thing is, we get our mission. Before we found her, she was looking for the evil dude from the first season, like the kind of cancer cell. Apparently he's back alive. Also for Cells at Work Black, episode 6 and 7, it was still more of like kind of sadness between all these cells, just like the body's like fighting off more outside stuff. Now it's kidney stones that comes when you have too many toxins in your urine that crystallize. And then episode 7, it was a pretty feel-good episode actually, where the body relies on coffee, but then yeah, once you have caffeine in your system, it's like it'll charge you up, it'll energize you, but if you rely on it, then your body will like kind of like be listless and tired when you don't have the caffeine. So yeah, our main red blood cell kind of gets an award for delivering the most oxygen. He's like doing his best and he's doing like a better job than everyone else. So then his friend, who like looks up to him, kind of feels inferior, like he's doing like a bad job. So then he's relying on this coffee. And then he almost falls out of the body, but then the main red blood cell kind of motivates him, and yeah, they're both rescued. So it's just like a feel-good episode showing how like their friendship still stands, and yeah, they'll just deliver oxygen as they do. Although this episode, I guess some of the oxygen they were delivering is like turns into poison. So I'm very curious to see how much worse the body can go from here. Okay, so for the quintessential quintuplets, episode 5, we see the Quints at a New Year's shrine, and then they invite Futaro and his sister to their house. And then, yeah, a lot of like physical contact happens here. The quintuplets are trying to reward him for like making him tutor for free. Yotsuba actually kisses him on the cheek because he had like some cream there. So yeah, that makes Miku really angry. We also see Ichika's acting skills, where she's like pulling every gig she can, even though if it's like some bad B movie where she just like dies, so she can pay like the bills for their new apartment. And then we see Futaro try to compliment her, but she pretends to fall asleep, so like she doesn't show her emotions. Also, we see their dad talking to Itsuki in some coffee shop. Futaro, Nino, and Yotsuba are also there. And yeah, they all challenge the dad. It's like the dad says, oh yeah, you're going to transfer schools because I don't see if you're going to pass here. And the thing is, the girls agree, and then they're like, yeah, we'll take you up on that. If we don't pass, then we'll transfer schools, but then we'll definitely pass.